for any of you guys who lived under a rock this week, NFL released the schedules, and there were some pretty big matchups week 1. Obviously, the first one we're going to get into is the Browns returning to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Playoff revenge game, 4:25. So not a primetime game, but, closer to primetime. Some people are saying this is a bad break for Cleveland. I love it.
Oh, as soon as I saw it, I think we had our group text, and I was like, all right, baby, let the test week 1. And we want that test.
Yeah, and I think that you'd rather play the Chiefs earlier than later.
Yeah.
Even though when you look at the stats of what Patrick Mahomes does in September is he never loses, and he doesn't throw any interceptions in the month of September. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. Before we got on the air here, we were just talking that it's, 19 weeks or 8, I can't remember how many weeks it is away, that we're already ready for football to be here.
To me, I get, I think it was like Colin Cowherd put out and said this was a terrible break for the Browns to have to play the Chiefs week 1. The worst thing that can happen after this game is we're 0-1.
Right.
So, which, newsflash, we're 0-1 every year. So what's it a bad break about? I want to come out and I want to see how we match up. I want to see this new defense. I know we have, potentially 8 or 9 new starters. I don't care. They've all played football before. They're going to have a training camp. They got OTAs. If Stefanski was able to put this team together over Zoom last year, they're going to be able to put it together in person at training camp.
Well, did you guys see the photos coming out in some of the video clips from rookie minicamp? Yeah. I mean, it was so nice to see like the new guys in Browns threads out there on the field. It just feels good. I was so excited for football.
It already feels like more of a regular, normal offseason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to see how we do. In worst case scenario, even if look what happened last year, week 1. We got spanked. And then we turn around and we won 12 games. Mm-hmm. So, if we lose week 1, it's not an indictment on our season. Even if we win week 1, it's not, it doesn't mean we're going to go undefeated. But I want a big matchup that first week.
No, it doesn't matter what team it is. The team for all 32 teams, whoever goes out there in week 1, it will not be the same team that goes on the field in week, what is it now, 18?
19.
Right.
Whatever. So, yeah. But you know what I mean? So you're either going to get better throughout the season or you're going to get worse, but you're not going to stay the same. We know that. So whatever happens in that first game against the Chiefs, like we're going to learn from it and we're going to get better. We win, great. We're going to get better. We lose, whatever. We're going to get better. So I'm excited to see it, the matchup.
And why not have a tough game right off the bat? Because after that, it's very kind of lackluster. Like, I don't want to say that the Browns are going to, lose attention and they're going to, snooze on the beginning of the schedule. But from when I look at it, I go, not a lot of tough opponents.
No, I think, we're going to get into the Browns schedule more, but like I said before we came on, I think before the bye, the Browns can have 10 wins realistically before the bye. And I think the over-under on us this year is only 9.5, which is crazy low to me. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me this roster is only a 9.5 win team.
Healthy? No, absolutely.
This team won 12 games last year with one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. It was basically half practice squad.
Yes. I coached 7th grade football, and I haven't seen defense that bad.
Well, we had practice squad players playing in that playoff game, last year. So I think that we'll go into week 1. Obviously, we won't be favored to win with it being in Kansas City against Mahomes and everything that comes with. Like Josh said, even if you come out of here with a loss, I don't want to get blown out. I don't want to have like the Ravens happen again, even though it didn't matter and we ended up, turning things around. Mm-hmm. But man, it would stink to go in there and lose like 45-10 or something like that. Because that'd be like I think that'd be the only scenario where you might have a bad takeaway from this game.
The problem with that is then all week, especially because I don't want to say there's as much hype about the Browns as there was like 2 years ago when we first got Odell.
It's close.
But there's people are saying, we're contenders. And so if we lose big that first week, everything on the media is just going to be nothing but.
And that's what happened that year with Freddie when we got Odell. Everybody, the hype was astronomical, and then they came out and got shellacked by Tennessee, and it was like, right, what just happened here?
Yeah. So I don't want to listen to that all week. And the media is just it won't stop. It'll be all week. Is Stefanski overrated? Is Baker
the guy?
Is Baker time for him to? Is it time for Case Keenum?
Yeah, right.
Should we have traded for Aaron Rodgers? Like, I don't feel like listening to that. So
it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting, kind of from the coaching aspect too, like how we talked about last year. There was no training camp. There's none of those off-season workouts that you were able to get it together with the whole team, with your coaching staff. It'll be interesting to kind of see, what Stefanski and Joe Woods get, going into this, having all that time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was watching some of those like the rookie minicamp videos. I'm very excited to see Anthony Schwartz.
He's the new toy, right? He's the new offensive weapon. He's the only one we got besides Felton.
Yeah.
So, another thing real quick, we'll come back to Schwartz, but I just want to say I did see like photos and like a video clip of James Hudson out there. That dude is huge. I mean, athletically huge. 6'5", 315-ish. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully he can play like he looks, but I will say he looks good in pads.
Yep.
I bet he does.
I don't know if you guys saw too. It was either last week or the week before, but Baker kind of organized a little get together down in Texas with him,
Yep, I saw
Chubb,
that.
Odell, Jarvis, all those guys. I think Schwartz was there. That was the first time.
Well, big thing that I've seen with the Schwartz is that Jarvis is kind of taking him under his wing. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Greatest free agent signing in Browns history is
We traded for him.
We traded for him.
Yeah. All right, so
We always
trading,
say that, yeah.
whatever, but getting him and bringing him in, what he means to the team, it's gonna suck one day if we have to let him go.
I mean, is there anybody better to help your young receiver refine his route running skills?
Yeah.
I mean, Jarvis isn't like a burner. He's not a blow the speed off the top. He's open because he's a great route runner.
Right.
So if there's anybody to help Schwartz come along quickly, it's Jarvis Landry. And I don't know. I'm just really excited to see how we utilize his speed. I mean, Odell is awesome and all, but these end arounds of the Schwartz kid could be, I mean, nobody can catch him. If he's in the open field, it's 6. Nobody's running this guy down. There is no angle. Nobody's taking an angle to catch him. That angle doesn't exist. So I'm just really excited to see that. And I'm excited to see what the offense does in this game against the Chiefs, because last year the offense wasn't good against them.
No.
It was actually it was one of the worst games we played in
It got
a month or two.
very stale, very quick, and then it was just, we were punting, it seemed like every time. And
and part of that with the offense, ask Kansas City how many penalties they got away with in that Super Bowl game.
True.
I mean, we weren't able to get any. It was like we were getting mugged sometimes on offense. That makes your offense look worse if you can't.
True,
you
and we
can't
did
get anybody
lose that.
open. And then look what happened when Kansas City wasn't allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, they got stomped.
When they had to play by the rules, it was tough.
Yeah, it was. But I'm looking forward to. I think we had a lack of speed in that game, which allowed them to sit on us. Which allowed them to be pushing us and holding us and stuff like that. If Odell and Schwartz are both in there, that's a lot more speed on the field compared to the last time we played them. And I get that Mahomes was hurt, so that's a big factor for them too. But we didn't get their best in that game, but they didn't get anywhere near what's going to be our best this year.
Right.
I mean, the defense this year has the chance to be. I mean, this has a chance to be seriously a top 5 defense.
I don't even think it has to be a top 5 defense for us to be super competitive either.
No,
they said they wanted
top 15 last year. If we were top 15, 16 last year, we'd have been fine.
Stefanski said that. He said, let us get into the top 50, the top half of defenses, and I think we're going to be scary good.
Yeah. So, I mean, imagine what this team's going to be. I really think the Browns are going to be, they're going to be tough to beat.
We were last year.
Yeah.
Chiefs got some new players in town. Their line is kind of.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good, and it's a newer line. They signed some people. They traded with Baltimore to get Orlando Brown at the tackle position. I think they let Eric Fisher go. He just signed somewhere. I can't remember where it was in the news. He just signed somewhere, but they've kind of had to put. But obviously, Colts.
I think it was the Colts.
So obviously, they still have all the weapons. They got Hill. They got Kelsey. They got the rookie Edwards-Helaire. They got some more burners, but be interesting.
Well, they did take a rookie receiver, too. So Edwards-Helaire is going into his sophomore season, but who was the rookie they took? You guys remember in the draft? It was a later.
I can't remember.
That's all right. But I that's one thing I don't know if we've talked too in-depth about is what sort of impact Anthony Schwartz is going to have, not just on the offense or on Baker or on, some of these underneath receivers like Jarvis. What about Odell, though? Because, like you said that, Blake, if you got to worry about 4.25 speed on one side of the field, you can't double Odell with Jarvis and Hooper roaming the middle. What are you going to do?
Into all these people who talk about Odell isn't good, all this stuff, he's not an impact player anymore. Watch the game and see how often he's double teamed. Tell the defensive coordinators he's not good anymore then, because he's double teamed literally every play.
And they hang on him.
Yeah. If they play him one-on-one, he draws a penalty or he gets a catch. And they almost never play him one-on-one. So don't tell me Odell's not good anymore. So we put a healthy Odell in there with the speed of Schwartz, a more confident Baker. Mm-hmm. I mean, sky's the limit. So I'm looking for, this week one, this has a chance to be, one of the matchups of the year right off the bat.